Okay, guys. Do we have a microphone available? Yeah, at the back there. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Krista. If you just go to Tom here. Tom. Yeah. Thank you. Cheers.
Hi, Thomas. Congratulations on the win. What did you make of it? And in particular, how happy were you with your substitutions and the quality and the desire they showed when they came off the bench?
Yeah, well, we wanted to have quality and had quality, and we wanted to have impact and new energy from the bench, which we clearly got. Of course, everyone was straight away there to have an impact. We created chances, half chances, and scored. And in the end, in between, we had also to overcome some moments and to defend until the very end, to defend our clean sheet. And a special compliment also to the back four and Jordan today. They had to really work hard. Our pressing was in the second half not always right. We let Serbia escape several times in the short build-up into fast attack. So that was quite some intensive input that we had and some intense output that we had to give to be able to have a clean sheet and to win the game. I like it a lot because it was a difficult match, complicated match. Our opponent knew everything about us. We knew nothing about our opponent. We had to adapt. We had to be flexible, and we put a lot of work in the first half, especially to control the match and to be the dominant team, which we did. Maybe throughout the match we lacked a little bit precision in the last pass, in the developing half chances into chances. Otherwise we could have maybe created more and scored earlier to be a bit more calm. But I like it because it stayed tense, it stayed intense and a very tight match, because you could see the quality. They play all in top leagues. So overall, I'm happy about this test. It was a test, was an intense match again. Attitude was right. We showed some quality in decisive moments and defended our clean sheet. So, I'm happy about it.
Sorry.
Hi, Thomas. Just on the bench and the sort of psychology around it. We've seen other managers call the players finishers. In rugby, I don't know if you know, but the world champions South Africa call it the bomb squad.
The bomb squad?
The bomb squad, yeah. I don't know if it's sort of the psychology of having players on the bench. Is there something you've done for it, and players you might hope they start but have got an impact to come off the bench?
Yeah, not yet. I've not named it in a different way, but I kind of like it. Like bomb squad a bit more than finisher. Well, that's the nature of this game. We will not the possibility that we go to Albania and start with 11 and finish with the same 11 goes to zero, and even more so in a tournament. And this is not about building a starting 11; it's about building a team, and that means that sometimes they're all big players in their club. They're all used to play. They're all disappointed. Everyone, this is normal, but they buy into this idea of building a team, and this is what we want, this is what we need. There is no other way around it. Only if we're a strong group who can put the ego behind, who can put the disappointment behind, and then contribute and give the coach a headache what to do in the next match. That's the only way, and I like it because it's natural for this team. The atmosphere after the matches, during the matches, is the right energy, and I think everyone is treating everyone with respect. The ones on the pitch know that they can rely on everyone who comes from the bench to finish the game. You could see the impact today, and it has to stay like this. We just need everybody fully involved, especially mentally, to accept the decision of the match day and then to continue.
Thanks.
Hi, Thomas.
Hi.
You had a lot of new players in the squad, namely Nico O'Reilly, who made his debut, but then also players that such as Adam Wharton, who maybe you haven't been able to see as much because of injury.
Yeah.
Away from the pitch, when just seeing their character and seeing how they operate around the team, what do you look for in players that you haven't been able to see up close in your squad away from the pitch, maybe around a group or just as on the training pitch? What do you look for in those players to let them know this might be the right fit for my squad?
Well, first we observe them. We have no other chance, either on our laptops, TVs, or live in the stadium. And then we get to know them in camp, and then we just encourage everyone. First of all, I think we already built a strong culture and a core of leaders within the team, define the standards, and they drive the standards. And at the same time, we build a welcoming atmosphere for players who are new in camp, to encourage them to be the best version of themselves, because we want them to be top teammates. Nico had a fantastic debut today. He's a very calm person, for example. He seems to be very shy, doesn't speak a lot, doesn't speak out a lot, but is very intelligent on the pitch and adapted so well to all the new things we demand from him. So well done. And I think it's only possible if you feel good and supported within a group. And this is at the moment developing, so full credit to everyone. Camp by camp, we build a culture, and the players take care of their culture and of their standards, and then it's easier also for young players to come in. And we make sure that everyone goes in the same direction, that something special can maybe be built.
Ed.
Hi Thomas, just on Phil Foden, you brought him on as a false nine.
Yeah.
In an unfamiliar role. How did you think he did? Do you think it's something to work on for the future? Obviously, got the assist.
Was a good match for him, of course, because as you could see also, Harry dropped today a little bit deeper than normal, because they had also three midfielders, wanted to shut our three midfielders down, so Harry helped us sometimes to overload the midfield and then had a quick switch of play. So the chances and the acceleration in the game came from the long switches of play, long diagonal passes. Harry was involved in it. Later it was excellent from Phil. You know, with Phil, you just see he's full of confidence. You see it basically pretty much in the first minutes where you meet him in camp. You just feel him light, just feel him confident. You see him smile. He comes on the pitch. The first touches are right, second touches, all these movements. It's just a joy to watch. You can see he's competitive. He is full of confidence, and he showed it today. He can play against any opponent on this position. I like to have him in the center of the pitch. I like to have him around, surrounded with close connections with other players, and that's maybe his main strength in the moment, and he did well.
Hi Thomas, congratulations. You mentioned the clean sheet and how important they are to you. That's 7 clean sheets. If you have one more, it'll be complete lockout. Have you thought about how you're going to reward your players if they get an 8th clean sheet? Would there be a special?
No, I will think about it. I have 2 days, but I'm a bit superstitious with this stuff. I don't want to talk about it so much, because then it's one deflected shot after 2 minutes, and everyone goes, okay, we don't get our reward now. So, so for me, it's more important about the process, like the work rate and the discipline and the effort that the team puts in at the moment to defend. This gives us the chance to have 7 clean sheets in a row. If you want to have 7 clean sheets in a row, you need a bit of luck, you need a good goalkeeper, you need some moments maybe offside and sometimes a bit lucky, and you need 1-2 extra good saves. This is just part of it, but the most important is the effort and the discipline and the work rate to keep this thing going. And the support of the players is at the moment on the highest level. They really buy into this idea of defending, define themselves also through defending, and that's the fundamental thing to be able to have clean sheets, and there's where the focus goes.
Hi Thomas, I also wanted to ask you about Phil. When did you have the idea for the first time to play him as a number 9? Because I can't remember him playing as a number 9 for Manchester City, obviously. And how much do you think can he really challenge Harry Kane to maybe even start important games up front?
Well, it's a big ask not to challenge Harry at the moment. He's in the shape of his life. The attitude, the work rate, the quality, and the finishing ratio is just out of control, out of this world. So But even here, maybe to be a accomplice and together with Harry and to share some minutes in decisive matches. I had the idea several months ago, like because I played against Phil in these kind of positions. I have the feeling in Premier League some years ago, and it was really, really tough with his little movements, counter movements, little runs. City was so dominant, and he had these little, he had the positions in the pockets, the half turns. Then he was shooting. He played a 1-2, and then he did the little run off the ball and assisted. So it was you couldn't catch him. And when we made the long list with 50, 60 players, of course, it's outstanding quality. And I was hoping we nominated him for first camp, and then he had a difficult spell at City. And now he came back. For City, he plays actually in a deeper role, almost like as an 8. So let's see where this is all going. But yeah, I wanted to see him close to the opponent's box. I wanted to see him in the middle of the traffic, surrounded with a lot of players. And I think he did excellent, even in a game that was a little bit too open. But yeah, I think in matches where we need to unlock a deep opponent, can always be a choice.
Yeah.
Hi, Thomas, you've pretty much got the best record in European qualifying now. Do we take that for granted a little bit in this country? We're always saying that the opposition are no good and it's easy to do this, but do you think that's unfair?
Yeah, but this is, I think, not. I don't think that this is special for this country. I think the big nations take it for granted to be in the big tournaments until they are not, and this of course happens. So for me, it's very important that the players know from me and they know from us, and they get encouraged in what they're doing, and they see it in the proof, whether we show them videos, whether we show them datas, and that they feel it and they feel the appreciation from the coaches, also from the fans. Like I said, I think the work rate and the effort that the team puts in at the moment into any match, be it a private match, friendly match against Wales, or today a match that has no impact anymore if we qualify or not, that's at the moment the outstanding criteria and characteristic of the team, and I'm very, very happy with it. Yeah, that everyone expects it. I mean, that includes also us. I also expect us to qualify. I demand it from myself. This is, of course, this is what we expect. But yeah, if you make it, yeah, this can be seen as normal. But that's just the cycle of it. It's just the nature of it.
In the back there.
Hi, Thomas. Another win, another clean sheet. Obviously, it's really important to maintain momentum. These games for England are dead rubbers, as it were, because England have already qualified. How important is it to keep that momentum going? And have you shaped in your mind teams you might be playing next year in friendlies prior to the World Cup? Do you have that in your mind yet? Do you need to keep the momentum going? Do you need to start playing, with all due respect to teams in this group and Wales that you played last month, top 10 teams?
Yeah, yes and no, but I think we are quite far with the friendlies. I'm not sure if I can say the opponents. I don't want to spoil any contract talks or whatever. I think the friendlies are more or less done for March. Tough opponents. If this is the case, you see that my focus is clearly on the November camp at the moment. I think that's anyway the only chance that we have. It's the only chance for me in elite sports anyway to just stay in the things that you can influence, and this is like today's performance again. I'm very happy with the attitude again of the team. I don't see any change of attitude in training because the game doesn't mean anything, or is a dead rubber as you call it, or is this a friendly? We're just keep on going, and team is desperate to have this to shape their identity. I think this is the only thing that we can do, because then we feel good. Today we are tired, but they know what they did, and they get the praise also for it, to have another clean sheet, and they felt that it was a complicated, intense match for us, which is good. And I'm pretty sure we will be ready, and the team will have the right spirit to do it, hopefully again in Albania, with all the respect. It will be not easy. And from there we go. And then to keep the momentum going in between, I'm not so sure how we will do this because it's quite a long time. It will be then on me to keep the contact to the players, stay close to the players, and stay also close to all 55, 60 players on our long list, not only of the regular players in camp, but this comes, I will break my head about it from Monday. Now it's important that the guys have a good recovery session tomorrow, and the guys who didn't play so much take the 2 days to impress and maybe train their way into the team, because everyone is desperate to play. It's a good sign.
Hi, Thomas. Dusan Uštević, Telegraphers from Serbia. Can you compare Serbian national team from game in Belgrade and tonight? What changed after change of coach?
Structure changed, of course, and then it was straight away, of course, a new energy, like always. With a new coach, the language before the match was very patriotic. It was very straightforward. It was very clear and demanding. So we knew, okay, we then analyzed several matches of Oviedo, his last professional team, and try to predict what is coming. But that was a tricky part. We did predictions, and Serbia knew basically everything about us. I knew before, I said before the first game, there's a dangerous team. They have individual quality. It's a proud country. They have today a final to play, so this will just buy into their pride to have a strong performance today. They are strong. We could shut them down very, very early, and in Belgrade. Today we had to overcome a lot of set pieces. We had to defend a lot of crosses because our pressing was not always right, and it can also happen sometimes that the opponent escapes. So in general, it was a more difficult, seemed like a more difficult game, but the goals just came in the right moment in Belgrade for us. So maybe not possible to compare, to be fair, but I know from the way the result looks, and you will maybe try to compare it, and it was difficult today.
Okay, our Serbian counterpart's ready to come in, so this will have to be the last one.
All right, Thomas, just back on Phil Foden. I don't want to call him a plan B, but if you're ever without Harry Kane, is that now what you'd go to, or is it more sort of opponent specific than that?
Is absolutely an opportunity. If Phil stays in this shape, in this form, I have no problem. I have some other options in mind that I don't want to discuss in public. Don't forget, we have Ollie Watkins, we have Welbeck, maybe more number 9s, also very different from Harry. So I think we will have options, and it will maybe come down then to who's in shape, what do we have already in the squad, and how do we want to share the minutes, against which opponents do we play, what do we expect from the match. But it was very good today.
Cheers all, thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Hi, good evening. Coming back from the... Hoćete ovdje? Hoću ovdje? Tu. Može ovdje, dobar kadar. Sve je jedno. Isto ćemo kao prošli put. Prvo 2 pitanja engleski. Jer ima potreba da prevodimo pitanja sa engleskom u srpskom.
Is there any need for interpreting? He's asking.
Yes.
One gentleman.
Okay, good evening. Welcome to the Serbian press conference. Here we have national team coach, Mr. Veljko Paunović. So first 2-3 questions will be in English for the English journalist. After that, we will continue on in Serbian, okay? The gentleman on the left.
First of all, your impressions on the game, and second of all, how is Ilić?
Well, I'll start with Ilić. It looks like there is an injury. Important injury. We'll see. It looks like it's the MCL. So he felt a pop in his left knee and on the internal side. So the first impression is not good. Although he's not swollen, but we'll have to wait for further results after the MRI. And my impressions about the game is, with all my respect for one of the best teams in the world, England, I think they did great today. But on the other side, I think we could have get a better result. At least we could have scored 1 goal. I wanted desperately to frustrate their clean sheets, the whole tournament. They've been excellent in defense, and we tried in few different ways. We tried on set pieces. I think we were close in one of the set plays we prepared in the first half, and then we weren't really good in executing our corner kicks, but the second balls we could have get more from that. And then in the second half, I think we played well with the ball. I think we improved a lot, and we created very good chances. There was a couple of misses, big chances that at least would give us that edge and an important confidence that we needed to get out of this game with points. Congratulations to England, and we move on, and we gotta continue our quest and prepare well for Sunday.
Okay, you.
Hi, he was obviously tasked with closing out Serbia's qualifying campaign for the World Cup. On a short-term scale, do you know what your future is going to be with the Serbian national team? And on a larger scale, how do Serbia rebuild a team so that for future campaigns they're back competing and in a position to better qualify for those competitions?
Yeah, great question. I think about my future, I think we have the goal. We still have chances, right?
Yes, we have.
So we will.
Theoretical chances.
That's my future.
But
we have chances.
okay.
We'll take our chances, right? So it's a great question. The second part of the question about what's the Serbian path or Serbian way of building teams. We kind of always get to this stage where we have a fantastic generation, players that play all around the world, best teams in the world, and then we don't get the best out of them. And then we start a new process, which is 5 to 10 years at least. And I worked with this team 10 years ago, not this team, but most of the players in this team 10 years ago, and we had success in the Under-20s World Cup, won it, and then I'm returning now basically in the last minute to save what was, and it is still a generation that can do something or have a legacy for our football.
And if that doesn't happen, we will have to do it again. So it's a never-ending process.
And the last question for English media.
Coming into this match, you've shown great respect for the quality that exists in the England team and England's recent record. You've also you've got great faith in the players that you have here in Serbia. Based on what you've seen today and in your preparation for this match, where would you rank England's as a nation at present going into approach?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question because I think England is a great example for a lot of countries like us that are trying to build a way that sustainable and consistent way of producing players, but winning and playing finals and not only having a team that one team. So I'll be specific. I think today England, when the players came off the bench, I think they could have started the game. So they basically have 2 or 3 players, and that's a process and that's the work that has been done in the past. And I believe I worked here, so I know how the system works and how much and how long it took to get to this stage where you build a pool of players, national team players that compete on the highest level in the best teams in Premier League and in the world. So I will rank England top of the top 5 definitely, and if not top 3 or top number 1. At this point, I believe England, as of today, if they had to play a World Cup final, I think that would be definitely one of the favorites.
Okay, thank you. We will continue in Serbian. Svejedno, ko ćeš. Tom koji ćeš.
Svejedno, onda ću ja.
Daj ti možeš drugo. Ajde, izvolite.
Selektore, dobroveče. Neki moj utisak, mislim da i dosta kolega deli, je da smo videli večeras jednu mnogo organizovaniju Srbiju nego što smo gledali u prethodnim utakmicama u kvalifikacijama, da smo mnogo više ličili na tim nego na prethodnim utakmicama, a sve to eto za 3 treninga koliko ste imali. Šta je ono što ste vi videli, koji su vaši utisci koji nosite s ove utakmice i šta je ono što mislite da možete da uradite u recimo martu ako ste ovo uspeli za tako kratko vreme da napravite?
Pa, iskreno, ja mogu da kažem, ne mogu da kažem da sam zadovoljan, zato što na kraju mnogo me boli poraz, svaki poraz, i kao što sam rekao, porazi su odvratni i bez obzira što s druge strane sam ponosan na momke jer su dali upravo tu sliku o kojoj govorite, da su bili organizovani, da su bili odvažni i ja bih rekao u prvom poluvremenu nam je nedostajalo malo više odvažnosti sa loptom, dok defanzivno smo radili dobar posao. Iako je gol na kraju bila lepa egzekucija, mislim da smo napravili smo faul koji nepotreban totalno, koji nas je spustio u zonu da branimo 16-terac i poslije iz onih odbitaka izvanredan gol koji je postigao Saka, ali s druge strane nekako smo bili kažnjeni naivno, tako sam se ja osjećao i zato me to boli. I drugi gol, ajde, igrali smo već, skroz smo se otvorili i krenuli smo skroz u napad i drugi gol isto tako boli, ali je drugačija situacija. Mislim da smo bili kažnjeni ili prekažnjeni, a s druge strane da smo dobili veoma malo od naše hrabrosti i odvažnosti u drugom poluvremenu, da smo stvorili mnogo dobre šanse. Sad možda malo preskačem, ali tako vraćam film i pričam o svemu i o planu igre koje smo imali. Nedostajala mi malo bolja egzekucija na prekidima, u ofanzivnim. Mislim da smo imali, čini mi se, 7 kornera i nismo imali ni jedan prvi dodir, znači nijednom nismo pogodili. Dobro smo gađali zonu, ali nismo se izborili za poziciju da možemo da šutnemo na gol, dakle završimo akciju, ali jesmo svaku drugu loptu osvojili, tako da iz tih drugih lopti nam je nedostajalo bolji centar šut i bolje donošenje odluka. I mada smo imali šansu Kostića koje on imao, izvanredno to smo bili pripremili, izvanredno je bila i pas je bio odličan i tajming je bio dobar, falio nam je blok, to je da kažem, ajde, možda i zbog toga što smo malo vremena prošli, pa je neko zaboravio ko je bio zadužen da napravi blok kako bi Kole imao još veću prednost. A u drugom poluvremenu mislim da je igra sama omogućila i stvorila nam izvanredne prodore i situacije gdje nedostaje nam zadnji pas, nedostaje nam je završnica. I mislim da ovako kada pričaš i vraćaš film, mislim da osjećaš da je na kraju krajeva moglo još više i još bolje i da si nekako opet ostao kratak u takmičenju s jednom od najboljih reprezentacija, a mogu si više. Ja imam utisak da smo mogli više.
Ne znam da li ću ja pokušati to rezimirati.
Nema potrebe. Uživajte u konferenciji.
Uživam ja.
Izvolite vi.
Gde ste naučili srpski?
Dole na terenu, za vrijeme rata sam radio kao humanitarac.
Dobro pričate.
Poštovanje selektore, Miloš Milenović, Dnevni list Alo. Pokazali ste zube Engleskoj, pokazali ste veliku borbenost. Da li verujete da će to i navijači i čitava nacija prepoznati, da će se vratiti na neki način vera u reprezentaciju, jer je, da kažemo, poljuljana malo u posljednje vreme? Hvala.
Pokazali smo zube, ali nismo zagrizli, nismo ih ujeli. To nam je nedostajalo. Ali ja verujem da je bilo dosta dobrih stvari i ono što na prvom mjestu osjećam to je da su igrači da su prihvatili ideju, da su prihvatili i neke načine na koji funkcionišemo u odbrani i napadu i odatle gradimo, što se kaže, odatle pravimo dalje. Mislim da dugo nisu igrali u ovom sistemu. Spominjao sam to, mnogo sam zadovoljan kako su oba beka odigrali utakmicu. Mislim da je Mimović imao sa Rashfordom imao strašan učinak i da je pomogao isto puno i fale nam je, oba beka su nam fali u ofanzivnoj fazi. Mislim da tu moramo se, ali opet u toj potrošnji koju su imali i odgovornosti koju su imali sa igračima, sa jedna od najboljih krilnih napadača sada u Španiji, Rashford i Saka u Arsenalu, sasvim je normalno da su možda smo pravili neke greške sa loptom, ali svakako da postoji perspektiva i svakako da je ta perspektiva jako ohrabljuje i mislim da gledano sa te strane na neki srednji dugački vremenski period je to pozitivno, a s druge strane u nedelju moramo se pripremiti da se vratimo i moramo da svoju čast odbranimo i ovo što smo sada konstatovali, dokle god postoje šanse, to ne može ni da se priča o tome, mora da se da sve, mora da se pobedi, mora da se čeka, da nam se uklope kockice i zašto da ne, ja verujem i dalje i verujem da može da nam se namesti da odemo u baraž i posle sve moguće.
Imaš neko pitanje? Dole, izvoli.
Poštovanje selektore, Dušan Uštević, portal Telegraf. Eto, ako možete da prokomentarišete tu situaciju kod prvog gola, da li je možda Rajković mogao i da hvata tu loptu, kako vi gledate tu situaciju kada je boksovao i u onoj situaciji kada je bila kontra i kada je Vlahović pokušao petom, da li je mislite da je možda bilo bolje da Kostić proba da šutira iz te situacije?
Pa, ja mislim da su to odluke koje donose naravno igrači u trenutku i zavisno od puno faktora koje možda kada gledamo sa distance nismo svesni. Siguran sam mislim da smo mogli da reagujemo drugačije i posle izbijene lopte Rajkovića. Mislim da smo mogli mnogo brže da izađemo na 16, da blokiramo taj šut mnogo bolje i mnogo dalje. Mislim da isto tako posle Saka odbijenu loptu koju je završio jednostavno bio majstorski gol. Ali opet je bilo meni naivno po pitanju, kažem, na prvom mjestu faul je bio bespotreban, možda čak i nije bio faul. Mislim da te stvari moramo da izbegnemo, da ne dođemo u situaciju stvari da treba sudija da donosi odluku. Mislim da je to ključ i bio jedan deo plana našeg, dakle da izbegnemo sve prekide i faulove. Mislim da smo malo imali kornera u prvom poluvremenu protiv nas. I što je isto tako dobro, jer su oni jako opasni su na prekide, a opet taj bočni faul je možda i prestrugo dosuđen. Mislim da je bilo, što kažu Englezi, mnogo mekan.
Spave.
Kriterijum mekan.
Dobro večer, selektore. Posle dužeg vremena...
Domaćinski.
Posle dužeg vremena jedna utakmica u kojoj se Srbija legitimisala kao jedan ozbiljan rival renomiranom protivniku kojeg vi vidite možda i kao osvajača predstojećeg prvenstva Evrope. Opet naša je realnost i da slavimo i ovakve poraze, da budemo zadovoljni sa njima. Da li ove večeri možete da obećate da će sa vama na čelu Srbija uskoro biti reprezentacija koja će i pobeđivati ovakve protivnike kao što je Engleska ili barem ekipe iz krema svetskog fudbala?
Mislim da treba svakako da... Sviđa mi se kako ste napravili uvod. Ja i na samom početku sam rekao da ja mrzim ove poraze i da me jako boli. Tako da nisam zadovoljan. Nisam zadovoljan zbog toga. Ali ne treba to da, kao što ste rekli, ne treba da mi kažemo da je izgubiti od Engleske je 2-0. U stvari, naprotiv, moglo je gore. To je neka, da kažemo, razmišljanje, kao moglo je gore. Ne, moglo je bolje. Trebali smo da ubacimo tu loptu u gol. Da li je to bilo petom, da li je to bilo Kole da je završio ili da je možda i propustio kroz noge Duci i da je dao Stanković. To su naravno odluke i zato je fudbal takav kakav jeste na kraju. Ali moglo je bolje. I sa tim što je moglo bolje mislim da je neka perspektiva otvorena za koju ja dok sam ovde ja ću da radim i da se borim, ali isto tako znam da su to procesi. Ja jednostavno iza sebe u ekipama koje sam radio uvek sam, mislim da mogu to da kažem, nisam uopšte, ne želim svaka ekipa je imala poboljšanje, svaka ekipa je podigla svoj nivo i ja samo želim da nastavim tako da radim, ne samo kako sam radio, već i sve novo što naučim i u skladu sa resursima koje imam u klubovima, u ovom slučaju u reprezentaciji, mogu pre ili kasnije da postižem rezultate i da odgovore na naše pitanje. Da, ja verujem apsolutno da mogu i ja sa ovim momcima i ova reprezentacija i ova zemlja da se bori sa najjačima na svetu, jer to smo uradili 2015. godine sa jednom generacijom koja je i dan danas prisutna. Ja verujem naravno da je potrebno vreme za to, naravno da je potrebno mnogo faktora, ali apsolutno verujem.
I poslednje pitanje za večeras, izvoli.
Da se nastavi serija Sport kluba. Dobro večer svima, selektore, poštovanje, Dragan Čiča, Sport klub. Samo dozvolite mi da konstatujem pre pitanja. Mi smo razgovarali sa trojicom igrača u mix sezoni i svi redom su istekli zadovoljstvo saradnjom sa vama. Vi ste sami rekli da su oni odlično prihvatili zahteve. Zaista ekipa je delovala defanzivno, kompaktno, vrlo posebno kada su poredi prvi meč sa Engleskom, vidjet ćete i kroz analizu, kroz procenat stvorenih šansi. Sad mene zanima, samim tim što su ovi igrači na spisku, da im verujete, da li su svi uslovno rečeno položili večeras i da li, odnosno kog igrača u nekoj perspektivi vidite koji može da se priključi da bude nadogradnja na ovu ekipu i na tu viziju koju vi imate? Hvala.
Ja zaista sam zadovoljan sa svima, rekao sam, bekovi su me dali jednu veliku nadu, jer vi ste sami videli da moje ekipe igraju sa bekovima, dakle sa 4 u formaciji, u odbrani i da kažem, to mi je bilo jedno veliko ohrabrenje. Na to moramo da se nadograđujemo na sve to. Sa druge strane, mislim da imamo igrače isto koji su danas nedostajali, kada se upotpuni to i kada se pomnože njihove vrednosti i talenat i sposobnosti, mislim da možemo da vidimo još više od ove reprezentacije, od ove grupe momaka. Ja sam, kažem, prezadovoljan bez obzira što me boli poraz, ali sam prezadovoljan kako su momci reagovali, kako su radili, kako su razgovarali pre utakmice, kako su primili i poruke, isto tako i motivaciju i kako smo reagovali na poluvremenu. Jer niko nije bio zadovoljan na poluvremenu, ni sa rezultatom, ni sa igrom, sa loptom. Kao što sam vam rekao i stojim iza toga i na tome ću uvek raditi. Možeš da se braniš i da budeš nepobediv zbog toga, ali da se pobedi moraš da napadaš i mora da znaš kako napadaš i to je ono što u drugom poluvremenu je meni mnogo, da kažem, mnogo jednostavno. Kad si trener i stojiš pored linije i onda gledaš tvoju ekipu kako napada, kako završa akcije i ako promašiš ti kažeš ovo hoću još ovoga. Kad gledaš kako se ekipa muči pozadnje, ne možeš izaći s loptom i kada je neko davi i kada te napada i kada te bombarduje i kada jedan korner, drugi korner, faul, to neću. Tako da ja radim da ekipu ovdje stavim i na tome, naravno, u tome nekad si uspešniji, nekad više, nekad manje, ali svakako da je zajednički jedan projekat i proces. Da, to je deo fudbala. Ono što u stvari suštinski je njihovi golovi su praktično egzekucija bila koja je nama falila. Ne zbog toga što ja verujem da oni svakako imaju veliku reprezentaciju, ali ja verujem da naši momci imamo isti kvalitet da završimo. Samo jednostavno danas nije bilo tu, ali verujem i hoću da bude u nedelju.
Selektore, prema što krenemo, zamolili su samo ako može na srpskom objašnjenje za Ilića.
Za koga?
Za Ilića, povredu.
Po njegovom utisku, dakle i po ovim prvim testovima, ima povredu kolena, unutrašnjeg ligamenta, leve noge, mislim da je leva noga bila u pitanju i ono što u stvari mene najviše brine to što je on osjetio kao da je malo nešto puklo i čuje nešto, tako da to nije dobra, ta prva slika da kažemo nije dobra, mada nije mu otečeno i da sumnja se u povredu unutrašnjeg bočnog ligamenta kolena. Sutra ćemo uraditi dodatnu dijagnozu. Da. To je dakle, što se kaže, to je najvažnije. Bez dijagnoze ne možemo da kažemo precizno šta je. Ali, nažalost, je povreda.
To je bilo sve za večeras. Hvala svima. Vidimo se u Leskovcu.
Hvala vam.
Odnosno u Nišu u Leskovcu. Prijetno.
Sve najbolje.
Hvala, čao. Srećan put, vidimo se. Ćao, prijetno. Thank you.